New phone, who dis? That's what Roger said when he saw Goody had called when he was at his big house. Couldn't get cell service.
We got to get into this. It is
Didn't
all over
recognize
social
the
media.
number.
It is.
New
Aaron
phone, who dis?
Rodgers never fails to just say something dumb. And Matt Hamilton still defending it.
This is dumb.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay. All right.
But I'm going to defend it the best I can.
All right. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
We
are very fortunate to work in this big studio,
Yes.
like this big
Does your-
concrete studio.
your
But
phone work?
sometimes, my cell service is a little spotty in here. So if you want to
Is
get a
that
hold
why
of me
we are on
during
video?
the show, call me or text me.
Don't
FaceTime me
FaceTime Matt during the show, please. Thank you.
if you want to only if you want to get a hold of me.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton. We're live from the Spark building. Madison,
Big
for the most
concrete
part,
building. We're fortunate.
has pretty good cell service. Depends, do you hear me now?
Good.
Like one of those things. Aaron Rodgers going to get a cell deal out of this.
Maybe if he was by his elevator.
Could have gone outside. I would
The
imagine.
service in the elevator here is not good.
I wonder, does Aaron Rodgers not have a backyard? I would imagine that in Malibu, which is most probably where he lives, or Santa Monica, it's not like he lives in some rural Sacramento town. I'm sure
Thought he
lives,
bought the shack from the darkness retreat.
right.
I thought he purchased that and is just living there now.
Maybe that's.
I love that he brought up the darkness again.
But he says it so casually.
So good.
When I exited the darkness.
Yeah.
Am I in a Lord of the Rings novel? Can we just stop saying that phrase so casually like it's normal?
It is in Malibu, by the way. $5.1 million home.
No cell phone service. Man, he needs to get
service.
Get
Get a booster or something.
But side note, Alex, it is weird where Rodgers now just references when I left the darkness. It's like when I left my house, he just says, when I left the darkness.
Yeah.
It's 4 nights of complete darkness.
But
It's like he's on a quest.
Right. I know. It's
He's on a greater journey.
Right.
After he left the dark.
it's like a Lord of the Rings trilogy right now, or he's in Star Wars.
The guy's just living his life.
When I left
he's
the
living.
darkness and I found the Jedi Force.
It's 4 nights of complete darkness.
You sound so ignorant when you call it a Jedi Force, Jim, first of all.
I left the dark side, and now I'm with the Jets. I don't know. Anyways.
The Jet's eye.
All right, let's hear from Aaron Rodgers and his cell phone issues.
Well, I don't know if I need to really get into the specifics. I will say people that know me, I'm fortunate to live in a beautiful house.
Such a brag.
The only downside is I have very limited cell service. So if you want to get a hold of me, I have to see your face. You got to FaceTime me. So the only response to the communication thing is there's, records in your phone about who called you, when, FaceTime. And there wasn't any specific FaceTimes from any of those numbers that I was looking at. That's neither here nor there because we're at this position.
Oh, it's here and there. You brought it up, Aaron.
Obviously, that's
He was asked.
Yeah.
somehow,
He wasn't asked about the records.
The direction they wanted to go as far
He was
as
asked about the phone
story. They couldn't get a hold of me, which led for this to be the case. My point was if there was a change that wanted to be made, why wasn't that told to me early in the off season? Now, obviously, my future was undecided at that time. I didn't know if I wanted to keep playing. I wanted to go into my darkness retreat and sit with it and contemplate. But when I came out, it was evident that it was retire or move on to a new team.
Right here.
Okay, so my point, yes, Aaron was asked, but he did not. He goes into deep detail. He was not nobody asked him, do you have phone records of it? So he purposely brought that up and then said, no, it's not here. That's past news. So my point is he could have just answered it without all this unnecessary detail, but he very clearly does not say he didn't have missed phone calls.
No, he said he had 0 missed FaceTime.
So again, a unreliable narrator because he is dancing right on the edge of the truth.
He just knows if he would have picked up the call from Goody, he probably would have heard every other word. So he was like, I'll just ignore this call and let it go to FaceTime.
Well
Pat
said.
in Madison chimes in. Rodgers didn't want to upgrade his phone to 5G. #COVID MVP. 844. That was a whole thing of you were getting
5G.
vaccinated to help boost the 5G coverage. I'm sure Aaron will tell you all about it in the next press conference. 844-770-3776.
Jim, you're such a hater.
Well, no, I mean
He's
that's
gone, Jim.
Just
He's
full
gone.
of
Let it go.
hatred. Yeah.
Let it go. He's gone.
When's the
Let
Aaron
it go.
Rodgers
Wait.
appreciation?
No,
day?
hold on. a
Yeah,
second.
no kidding.
Don't-
When is the Aaron Rodgers?
Don't put
appreciation?
stuff on me. That was texted in, and my entire timeline and everyone's timeline is full of people
You
making
just
fun of.
said you'll probably hear that in his next
Okay,
press
but that was
conference.
just
was that
funny.
in the text?
But that was funny. I didn't bring this topic up. It came in from a texter. So again, don't try to paint me in a corner here. I want Aaron Rodgers to slay out there. I want him to go win an MVP and go win a Super Bowl. I think it would be hilarious.
Because then the Packers get the 32nd pick.
And Goody's probably fired in a couple of years. Like, I think it's absolutely, I root for chaos. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And I hope that Aaron Rodgers out there has an amazing time playing football. So who's the mad one? The guy playing Sounders while I'm trying to speak, saying that I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers to have an amazing season out there, or the person who's rooting for Aaron Rodgers to do well. But the question is, Rutledge is an idiot. Like, I get it. You're triggered. I understand. And you can push all your buttons you want to because you are triggered. So you're going to get
because
triggered.
you're pushing his buttons right now.
Shut up.
Now he has to.
Right. But me pushing his buttons, making him angry, doesn't make me the angry guy.
Jim Rutledge,
You're
he's
just
fake tough.
projecting onto me. But we don't have to get into psychology at all. Pressure. Aaron Rodgers, we all agree, dancing around the truth as far as the Packers communications. But that's not the story. I want to ask you, 844-77, because that's what Aaron Rodgers does. 844-770-3776. This is what I really want to know, because I think this is funny. And now that Aaron Rodgers isn't a member of the Green Bay Packers, I think this is all just stupid and funny. And Aaron Rodgers is stupid and funny to me. And his comments on, I live in a big house, so big and so magnificent that my cell phone doesn't work in it, and you only can FaceTime me. I want to ask
This
you.
was his words verbatim. This is Jim's quoting it perfectly.
Pretty damn close.
Okay.
Nobody asked about the size of Aaron's house either.
I mean, I
He's
don't know
just
if I need
using
to really get
dazzling
into
details,
specifics.
Jim.
I
I
don't know
will
if I can
say
do
people
specific-
that know me,
Stop for a second.
I'm fortunate to live in a
It's amazing. He
beautiful
starts
house.
with, I don't think I need to get into specifics, but let me get very detailed on the size of my house and how I like to communicate and how I didn't have any missed FaceTime calls from anyone with Green Bay. And let me lay out the whole detail again, but without getting into specifics. So my question is, though, our Iron Jock poll question, 844-770-3776. Aaron Rodgers prefers FaceTime, apparently. How do you prefer?
When he's at home.
We're just going to roll with it like this, though.
Okay.
How do you prefer to be communicated with?
Text.
844-770-3776. Aaron Rodgers prefers FaceTime. How do you prefer to be communicated with? 844-770-3776. FaceTime, text, or a phone call?
When I'm on the radio, it's phone call. But when I'm off the radio, it's text.
Why?
Because I want people to call in.
Okay, then say to the station.
To the station, yeah. Or you can call me.
844-770-3776.
I'll just play it. I'll just play it over the air.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's the plan. There you go. Oh man. So, anyways, how do you prefer? And Chris Manitz Watch Riders times in. Text, you freaking hippie. 844-770-3776. How do you prefer to be communicated with? Text, FaceTime, or via a phone call?
Somebody tell this Rutledge guy sounds like a jackass.
Nice. That
Totally
the juice
redeemed
was
yourself
worth the
from
squeeze
yesterday.
on that one.
Awesome. You know what, Alex? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, don't involve your phone on the show ever, because it's just not working. It doesn't work. 844-770-3776. JB from the V chimes in. Rutledge is a classic Chicago hater. Like anyone else who likes scrub Chicago teams, his preferred method of communication is yelling. I am on the radio, JB from the V, and if I do a radio show like this and we just kind of work through all the things, it's not going to be entertaining. So, JB, it is called doing a radio show.
It's called entertainment. Are you not entertained?
Hey, stop yelling, Matt Hamilton. I love that I'm the only one accused of yelling. It's Stroph's Mr. Radio voice, and Matt, when I get Matt worked up, he's just as loud as me, but I'll be the yeller.
I normally can't control the volume of my voice.
One of my favorite SNL skits, Will Ferrell, with the inability to control the pitch and timbre of his voice. 844-770-3776. Aaron Rodgers prefers FaceTime for communication. What do you prefer for communication? FaceTime, text, or phone calls? This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Tina told me about this great app called Upside that pays you back big time just for using it. She said with the Upside app, she earned serious cash back on groceries and gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that we can actually get paid back real cash when we use the Upside app to buy gas and groceries?
Yep. Tina said they made around $200 already.
Whoa, finally something that pays us back money instead of costing us more. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas and groceries. Cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ESPN1 to save an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Remember, use code ESPN1 to save an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hello, baseball fans. Jeff Levering here, calling the action with the amazing team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And what a roster we have. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Wow, what a smooth glide. Pella's sliding windows are incredibly easy to maneuver, wider than they are tall. They glide horizontally, letting in lots of natural light and unobstructed views. And that roll, it's a double play. Pella's premium roll screens operate like magic. Close the window and the screen rolls away completely out of sight. Now that is slick. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Pella Reserve patio doors offer virtually unlimited sizes and custom colors, and they're backed up with the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Pella sure is one heck of a 5-tool player, and you can bring any number of their all-star innovations home for 0% for 48 months when you order by April 30th. Visit PellaWI.com for this amazing deal.
Certain restrictions apply.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially during our great outdoor event. Right now, get unbeatable deals on a variety of outdoor essentials, like 36-pound bags of estate lawn or garden fertilizer, just $24.99. Robic septic tank treatment, $5.99 a quart. 22-ounce Estwing framing hammers, $19.99. $50 off a Hobart Handler 140 MIG welder. And 24 packs of Blaine's brand AA or AAA batteries, just $7.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Looking to make an impact in your community? Consider applying to become a mentor with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County currently serves nearly 500 children and has over 200 waiting to be matched with a mentor like you. No skills are required, just a desire to make a difference in the lives of children. Make a big impact. Volunteer today at bbbsmadison.org to complete your application. That's bbbsmadison.org. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. Together, we are defenders of potential.
Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you are looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine-in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to vintagebrewingcompany.com to make a reservation today.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
9 minutes of fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Yeah, it is. I'm Alex Strofe, your Sports Center update brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment. Complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Go to celebrationsentertainment.com. To get started today, that's celebrationsentertainment.com. Well, Aaron Rodgers, officially a New York Jet, and he met with the very famous New York media for the first time today. Talked about a ton of stuff, including his relationship with his new, current, and former offense coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett.
Hack and I became really close friends for 3 years in Green Bay, and I love him like a brother. And I believe in him, and I'm really happy to be back working with him again.
Reaction continues throughout the afternoon here on ESPN Madison, and full coverage on that over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Baseball we go. Brewers lead the Tigers at AmFam Field right now, top of the 5th inning. Brewers 5, Tigers 2. And in the NBA, it's do or die time for the Milwaukee Bucks. Game 5 tonight in Milwaukee against the Heat. It's an 8:30 tip, 8 o'clock pregame, which you can hear right here on Madison's Home of the Bucks, 100.5. ESPN. Rutledge and Hamilton continues now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
You got to chill.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
I will say, people that know me, I'm fortunate to live in a beautiful house. The only downside is I have very limited cell service. So if you want to get a hold of me, I have to see your face. You got to face
My house is so beautiful, I can't get any cell
Broadcasting
reception.
live from the ESPN Madison studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Oh, man. I hate when that happens. When your house is so beautiful, you just don't get cell reception.
That's a plight of mine.
Beautiful house. Who's this?
Yeah, my $5 million mansion on the beautiful Lake Wabeesa. It's just tough to get service there. So if you want to get a hold of me, FaceTime me. Do it now. Nobody's called me since I've been begging for people to call my phone.
844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. Eli and Poinette chimes in. Tell Rut to go do radio in Chicago. Thank you for the compliment. Rodgers didn't say he had a big house. He clearly said it was a beautiful house. Oh, you got me. I wasn't doing a fake Aaron Rodgers voice with fake Aaron Rodgers quotes, but you got me, Eli.
Jim.
You got me. You got me in my big bit.
You got him, Eli.
Exaggerating how ridiculous Aaron Rodgers sound. You're right, because it sounds so much better when he only said, I have a beautiful house. Also, one of us
fortunate, and he knows he's fortunate to live in it, which helps.
Right. And one of us, and I don't begrudge Aaron Rodgers for good. I wish I lived in that house. Good for it. Sounds like an amazing house. It just was not necessary. He
doesn't
literally
sound that nice if you can't get a hold of me.
But he literally starts, I don't need to get into details, and then describes the details of his house. So that's the part that makes me laugh. But I am the one that's most Wisconsin today, though, folks. If you're watching at Jim and Matt on Twitter, on YouTube, we've done a lot of TikTok lives. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. We're presented by Coors Light. I am wearing my throwback Ray Allen Bucks jersey, 34, second greatest Buck to wear it. But Ray Allen, one of the greatest NBA players of all time, maybe hit the second greatest shot in NBA history outside of Jordan's game winner over Utah when he hit a game winner for the Heat, saved LeBron James' legacy down in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
And that was one of the best shots out there, and obviously a star of what I love as a movie, He Got Game. So I'm repping the Bucks today. Bucks got a big game. Hopefully we'll get into that a little bit later, but we are reacting to Aaron Rodgers, and we did ask our first Iron Jock poll question. Aaron Rodgers said he prefers FaceTime calls, referencing that he didn't have any FaceTime calls from Goody and the Packers during the offseason, so that's why he was shocked that he was being shopped. So we're asking you, what's your preferred method of communication? 84% of you right now say text. 5% of you say FaceTime, and 12% say phone call.
Text me, baby.
Yes. I mean, a unannounced FaceTime feels like an invasion of privacy.
That being said, saying something like, hey, boo, you up? Want to play for the Packers next year? Just doesn't seem like something you'd send over text.
But if I'm, for an example here, if I am going to...
Hey, A-Rod, what you wearing?
In my
bedtime.
In my other job here with ESPN, I'm on the sales and marketing side of things. If I am going to set up a Zoom call or a Teams meeting, I am shooting a text or an email ahead of time or a phone call being like, hey, are you good to talk on video? Because it's intrusive. Are you good to do that in a little bit? I'm not just firing it up, willy-nilly calling someone on video because I feel like it's intrusive. Goody and I are similar ages, and Aaron Rodgers is very close to our age as well, but maybe Aaron Rodgers doesn't find that intrusive. But Aaron didn't say, did he have missed text from Goody? Did he have because what, texts don't work there? Like Goody couldn't be texting, hey, do you have time to chat?
I mean, if Goody, which let's be real, Goody probably doesn't have an iPhone. He's probably running like a Droid, and
I think that's a good take.
And Rodgers has an iPhone, then it's going through cell phone data.
He never left his house. He never went outside.
I don't know.
I mean, this part
maybe
we all
was preparing. He turned all the lights off in his house.
It's 4 nights of complete darkness.
Yeah, he's just practicing his darkness retreat before the real deal.
Look, I don't know why you're defending this. You can defend Aaron Rodgers as a player going forward. Like, this is just another example of Aaron Rodgers being an unreliable narrator. Like, because what he's doing is purposely
I'm not disagreeing
focusing.
with you. I'm just trying to have a little fun with
I know, but I do want to point out that you shouldn't miss this part of Aaron Rodgers. And he is purposely muddying the waters, trying to focus on one minute.
Who said I missed this?
But I'm pointing out to everyone else listening too, the minutia, the one minute detail saying that I wasn't FaceTime, and then extrapolating that to imply that that means the Packers weren't trying to communicate him is wildly disingenuous and gives you an insight into why the Packers are willing to move on to a big leap of faith in Jordan Love and move Aaron Rodgers out to the Jets. And for Aaron Rodgers' sake and the Jets' sake, I hope that this does get put to bed sooner than later and that he does have a positive experience out there and we can be done with this pettiness. Maybe this will be a new Aaron Rodgers. He looked, I would say, healthier than he's looked in a long time. He had a nice tan, the new haircut. He looked like maybe he put on a few pounds in a good way. I thought he looked really good, and maybe this is his opportunity that he will be in a good mental health case going forward in a place that he will not continue to take shots and walk the line of truth like he did often in Green Bay towards the end. Alex, you were losing your mind back there? Oh, now you're taking a phone call. 844
It's our buddy Rob.
770-3776. Jeremy chimes in on Twitter. Was this a preference that he had just made on the spot, or have there been prior FaceTime conversations between them? Can someone ask for the FaceTime records? Now, Aaron has said that he has the FaceTime records and he didn't have any FaceTimes from Goody, but he, again, was very purposeful. He didn't say he didn't have any missed text, and he didn't say he didn't have any missed phone calls. He said he didn't have any missed FaceTimes. And I would love, and maybe Jason Wilde knows the answer to this. Maybe you could text Jason Wilde. What kind of phone does Goody have?
Oh, that is a good answer. I will shoot him a text in a second. I wanted to read
It's a
you guys.
Google phone. I'm betting.
I think you're right.
Now
I think an Android or a Google phone is a good call. Aaron Rodgers doing some more media. He just said this. You guys have seen the quote circulating from Zach Wilson earlier in the offseason where he said if they bring in a quarterback, he's going to make their life hell in practice every day. Rodgers just said to reporters, quote, "He's going to make my life hell in practice. I'm going to make his life heaven off the field."
He liked the tweet that people were pointing out that Zach Wilson had said that, and I saw on his likes.
What is I'm going to make his life heaven off the field, man?
Good for Zach. I mean, a little bromance going on. I don't know.
Moms and Rodgers.
Taking him out for a steak, taking him out on town, being a great mentor, be all the things that Packer fans wanted him to be. I don't know. And by all accounts, honestly, Rodgers and Love have at least an amicable situation.
I wouldn't
call it heavenly, but
I would not be shocked in the least if we see Rodgers going out and doing all the things we wished he would do in Green Bay these last 4 years.
Well, I mean, I would say at least for the female listeners and fans of the team, all of them are at least the females that I've talked to, women I've talked to, very happy with the new haircut.
Okay.
And the tan. Like, he looks immediately, everyone that I've talked to, wow, he looks a lot better. He does not look like a dirtbag. So immediately they're like, why did he have to dress how and act and have the hair and the whole look he had here than he did here? But also, he does seem to be a little bit more nervous, not quite as overconfident at times. So that's a different view. That could just, maybe he'll get comfortable in New York.
Maybe.
But yes, Aaron Rodgers reworking his deal is not out of the question.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers was less aggressive about, an unclear timeline. I think he said, I want to take this 1 year at a time, but it wasn't as cryptic as it has been. And I think that there's a couple things from Aaron that could indicate he says he's going to at least be there for some of the OTAs. Like, if he's at OTAs and he's doing like stepbrother type fun with Zach Wilson and he gets a clean haircut and he's smiling out there on the field and at all the OTAs and just Mr. Sunshine, yeah, that'll sting a little bit for some Packer fans. Let's go out to Rob and Madison, 844-770-3776.
Hey, Rob.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing good. Yep.
Oh, living the dream. So, Rodgers is going to make Zach Wilson's life heaven. What's he going to do? Set him up with his mom?
That was my first thought.
Hey, now. I mean, that's two creepy things going on there all around. But, Rodgers is like one of my customers that says, oh, I never got the bill. And then I can see on my software, yeah, they read it, completely.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. They are.
Thank you.
The customer in that case is probably like, well, I didn't get it in the mail. And I expect all my invoices in the mail. I mean, the guy is really parsing his words there, but that's what Aaron Rodgers does. And that's what he will continue to do. Let's get out to Well-Wisher Ken in Blue Mound, 844-770-3776. Hey, Ken.
How you doing, Ken?
We should have FaceTimed.
We should have FaceTimed.
I told people to FaceTime me and call the station.
Yeah, well, he just decided to FaceTime into the station. You cannot FaceTime into 844-770-3776, but
you can try.
Also, Matt, I want to show you this. So on our text chain, you have it on your text. It just says well-wisher Ken in Blue Mound, but initially when you're first like you're doing a radio show and you look down, like I need that in quotes, like well-wisher, because I'm trying, like, I think that's his name first, and then I realized, no, his name is Ken Well-Wisher. If you put Well-Wisher in quotes, then I know it's, Well-Wisher Ken, and not, what is this guy's name? So
I picked up on it pretty quick.
But now we got back to Ken, who is going to wish Aaron Rodgers well, I believe. 844-770-3776. Hey, Ken.
Hi, yeah, I'm Well-Wisher Ken calling in, and I think Matt Hamilton is 100% correct in his analysis.
Thank you.
What analysis is that?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear you.
What particular part of Matt's analysis was so good?
We don't need to get into detail. We don't need to get into semantics of it, Jim.
Yeah, that's right. I tell you, Aaron Rodgers is so smart. He's just toying with everybody. He's an enigma machine. And I'm rooting for two teams now until the Pack beats the Jets.
Yeah, Ken.
All right, that makes a little more sense. Now, I at least wanted to know. Matt's got so many good points.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, I'm not sure what you're talking
leave that
about.
big matzo ball out there. I just agree with Matt. So Matt did start the show by saying that you Jets are your second favorite team.
Third? Titans.
Well, you said it was a battle.
It was close, but I think I got to go Titans because I got a lot of cool stuff there, and I got to do a lot of cool things.
But if you are wondering, Matt Hamilton, Alex, this was on our TikTok live. Matt Hamilton said he wouldn't buy. This is classic Matt Hamilton. He wouldn't buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey, but if someone gave him an Aaron Rodgers Jets jersey,
or if I won one,
or if you won one.
Yeah, I agree with him. I'm not a big jersey guy these days.
I feel, and I'm wearing one today, but I feel like I'm playing dress up. So I'm wearing it more of like, hey, today's the day. Bucks need a little good vibes. I'll wear it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like I'd only wear.
You're just dripping in good vibes today.
I am, man. I'm wearing Bucks gear, Bucks in 7. I'm rooting. I'm wishing Aaron Rodgers well in New York. I hope he does great. You just don't like my vibes.
You want him to do well in New York because you want the Packers to have a bad pick.
Whatever my reasoning is, I'm Mr. Positive today. Go out there and slay Aaron Rodgers. The Jets are also my second favorite team.
Nice. We all have something we can agree on there.
So, I mean, however we're getting there, it doesn't matter. But yes, I want Aaron Rodgers to win an MVP and a Super Bowl.
This is the first time all three of us have agreed on something, I think.
So, yeah, I'm Mr. Positive. I'm dripping. Matt's the one rocking an old jersey of a player who doesn't even play for the Packers anymore. I'm rocking the Milwaukee Bucks.
No, don't start.
A legend who was forced out of town.
So we're both wearing former players' jerseys.
Yeah, but Ray Allen's like a legend for the Bucks. Aaron Rodgers is still playing for another team. Aaron Rodgers is not. Ray Allen is not playing for another team. I'm not wearing a Ray Allen jersey as the Bucks.
At some point, you're going to have to use a legend and Aaron Rodgers in the same sentence.
He is, but Ray Allen is not currently and has not played for another team for a very long time. So he is a legend because he is done.
Yeah, I'm just curious, Jim. Who hit a game-winning shot for the Heat in a final series?
But he's not
the Bucks are playing.
Aaron is not playing Ray Allen is not currently playing. Aaron Rodgers is playing for the Jets.
Now, serious question.
Yes.
More of a Bucks legend, Heat legend, or Celtics legend? Where's Ray Allen's most, or Sonics? Sonics too.
Celtics.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Heat second or Bucks second?
Man, George Karl, trading Ray Allen for Gary Payton and Desmond Mason. It's just one of the worst trades in NBA history.
What's the worst trade in Wisconsin sports history? This one?
That's got to be this one right here, the Aaron Rodgers one.
Yeah,
it could be.
Good compensation, but still heartbreaking.
Well, here's the thing. The compensation doesn't matter if Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl.
What did we get for CeCe Sabathia? I don't know if that was a very good trade.
Well, we traded for him.
Yeah.
He didn't get traded away.
He left.
He left
on his own.
Yeah. Went and made millions and millions and millions of dollars that the Brewers couldn't pay him.
Yeah, for the Yankees or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
JB from the V chimes in. Being a Bears fan is fate worse than death. I get it, but I think the real reason Jim is so angry is now he has to come up with things to hate about Love rather than go to his Rodgers stick. I have nothing to say bad about Jordan Love. I think he'll be a fine NFL quarterback. I really do. I don't think he's going to be the next Aaron Rodgers, and I think the problem with Jordan Love is his contract more than anything else. And realistically, because especially when you look at the 49ers, what the Packers might be trying to mirror, if I was going to pick a team that the Packers were going to try to mirror in the future, it's the 49ers. But the problem is the 49ers roster is outstanding outside of the quarterback position. And the Packers are far away from outstanding at the quarterback position. Could they be there in 2 years? Possibly. But it's a couple years away, because that's a very hard way to win. San Francisco is really the only team that's doing it, being able to consistently win without a true franchise quarterback. Because Jimmy Garoppolo is not a franchise quarterback. Brock Purdy isn't a franchise quarterback. But their roster around those players is so elite that it doesn't matter. But that is a one of one. And I think that's what Green Bay is going to try to mirror here in Wisconsin, is the 49ers. When you
until we hopefully find another franchise guy. As good as he might be, who knows?
I know, but it's so funny.
I'm not expecting another Rodgers quality player, but if you can get somebody who's solid, like a Justin Herbert in the draft.
Justin Herbert could be the next Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's a hell of a pick. I mean, if you got
what I'm saying. Like,
if Jordan loves Justin Herbert, you're in great shape.
No, and I don't think it's Jordan Love, but I'm just saying in the next hopefully decade we can draft a guy who we're now building around a quarterback again, as opposed to building a team and placing a quarterback.
Right,
in.
but I agree.
This just isn't Packers football, as far as I've ever seen it. Is building a team and then placing a quarterback, and I know we have to do that for a while, but.
No, that's a lot to do with their privilege as a Packers fan. All you have to do is look around the North. The Vikings have never been able to truly answer the quarterback situation. Chicago never has, and neither has Detroit. And you work around the league. Like, yes, ideally you find that guy, but.
Well, Detroit had a guy. They just never were able to put a team around him. Stafford was good.
But that's the point. Like, it's not easy to make it work. And Stafford's not Rodgers.
No.
Stafford's just between Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about X Golf Madison, and the most important thing that you need to know is that X Golf Madison is for everyone. Heck, I golf there. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a new golfer, or in between like me, X Golf Madison is going to be fun for you. They have a full bar, excellent service, great food, and the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world. You can play one of their 50 courses available, take lessons from a PGA pro, hit the driving range, or even join a league. Stop by their East Madison or Middleton location today, or visit them online at xgolfwisconsin.com.
Are you dreaming of a new look? Let the pros at 5 Star Painting bring color to your world, to your interior, exterior, cabinets, and more. We make it easy with online scheduling, free on-site estimates, and a dedicated project manager on every job. Uneasy about hiring a contractor? We know, we've been there. 5 Star Painting is customer-focused and quality-driven, exceeding expectations every time. Call or visit 5starpainting.com today. 5 Star Painting, a neighborly company.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Natalia, solid dismount, but that little pause is a deduction.
Top tumblers hope to stick the landing with Coach Jasmine.
That aerial sequence still needs work.
She needs more certified athletic trainers to find her balance.
Focus. I'm going to need you for the all-around. Wait, who's spotting the vault?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home. Roofing, windows, gutters, siding, and decks. Can Legacy do it? You bet. Better prices, better warranties. Legacy always makes it easy. Go to legacy-exteriors.com. Legacy Exteriors. Just pick up the phone and let us leave a legacy on your home.
If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, buy local. Shop Zimbrick Honda. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and warranties. Honda's certified technicians handle it all. And if you need new tires, buy 3 and get the 4th for just $1 when they mount and balance them for you. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Integrity, excellence, quality, and community are what we value here at Ridgetop because we want to do a great job to help our friends and neighbors. We always want to exceed expectations because customer service is our #1 goal. We're trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. Thanks for choosing Ridgetop Exteriors for your home's next project. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
From the executive producers of Little Fires Everywhere, The Morning Show, and Big Little Lies.
What would I tell my 22-year-old self?
Starring Emmy Award nominee Katherine Hahn.
What does it mean to heal, to move on?
The little things.
Healing is doing the impossible thing every single day.
Tiny Beautiful Things. Now streaming only on Hulu.
Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially since you're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness, because sometimes you don't know what you really want until you talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Visit betterhelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/score.
2023 is a very special year for Goodman's Jewelers. We're celebrating 90 years of serving the greater Madison area. John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. Needless to say, that's a long time and a lot of great memories working with you, our customers. During these 9 decades, we've never deviated from our pledge to you, which is earning your trust, delivering top-notch service, and a selection that's second to none. Discover firsthand why Goodman's Jewelers is truly a destination worth reaching. 220 State Street, goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
What does it take to make a diamond? Extreme heat and pressure and about 1 billion years. But you can't wait that long. What do? You go to Goodman's Jewelers. I'm John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. There's a reason we are the Diamond Store of Madison. Since 1933, we provided outstanding service and selection to our customers. And that in turn has helped to establish countless great memories through the years. GoodmansJewelers.com, located at 220 State Street. Truly a destination worth reaching.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
I think Rodgers is even lightening up with the media out in New York. Matt Schneidman reported, he's from The Athletic. A reporter asked Aaron Rodgers, what's the best number to reach you at? Aaron Rodgers said, ask Adam Schefter.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's not.
Lose my number.
Nice try, though.
That's funny.
What's funny about it?
Well,
I'm not saying it's not funny, but what
what's
do you find
funny is the fact that Adam Schefter claims to have tried to get a hold of Aaron Rodgers before.
He did.
He did.
Yes.
So so everybody knows that Schefter has Rodgers' number.
Right.
So he's like, get it from Schefter. That's funny.
But that's what I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers is loosening up and now not maybe as angry at Adam Schefter as he used to be.
I mean, that was just, I'm petty and gonna bring up old news.
Oh,
That was a petty anger. That was a shot at Schefter.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, how is him being excited to work with his offensive coordinator that he had in Green Bay throwing shade somehow at Matt LaFleur, but him straight up calling out Schefter in
do you know how good that is for Adam Schefter? Like Aaron Rodgers saying your name in your mouth in not a negative way. Like he's saying that Adam Schefter has my number. Like
that's like the joke is tongue in cheek.
That's my point. It's a joke, but it's not a joke at the expense of Adam Schefter. It's with it. Like that's why I find it funny. I think it's that Aaron Rodgers is loosening up on his hate of the media too. I honestly think Aaron Rodgers is in a better headspace than he was a couple weeks ago.
100% he is.
And so I also think that some of the anger that he lashed out at reporters and things like that could fade away as well. And I think that's an example of it. That is classic Aaron Rodgers humor, but I don't think it's at the expense of Adam Schefter. Yes, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's not like a mean thing.
No, I don't think it was at the expense of Adam Schefter either. I think it was more honestly, he was probably poking fun at himself.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We just find it funny. Like,
that's why I dig it.
I find it funny too, but I think we just found it funny for different reasons. I don't think he's taking a shot at Adam Schefter. I think it's a sign of growth. House of D is chiming in, telling me to relax. I'm with you. It's funny, but I thought you were taking it as like some sort of mean shot at Adam Schefter. I think it's I think it's a sign of growth from Aaron Rodgers.
Himself, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of growth from Aaron Rodgers that he is like making fun of himself, making fun of Adam Schefter a little bit. Like I thought that was a good sign of growth from Aaron Rodgers. Again, I honestly think that this was good for the mental health of Aaron Rodgers. I don't like how Aaron Rodgers got himself to this point. I think that was very childish, and I think him not showing up to things for the Packers last year and now talking about how important team building is this year with the Jets, which he did, that should sting you as a Packers fan. And both sides carry blame on this. I'm going to call it a 50-50 blame between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers for how it got here, but I do think we are going to see a lighter Aaron Rodgers. So House of D, why don't you follow your own advice and relax? Because I, too, found it funny. I was literally wondering why Matt Hamilton found it funny to see if we found it funny for the same reason. And we do. I'm happy for Aaron. I think that was a sign of growth from Aaron. That was like a shot that he'd taken Jason Wilde back in the day when Aaron wasn't so angry. Aaron was definitely ornery and angry the last few years of Green Bay. Right?
I think so.
He was wound very tight. And I think it'd be nice to see Aaron loosen up a little bit. It's not healthy to, like, he clearly was consuming everything that was being said about him because he'd take pot shots at like Romeo Dobbs or The Hand Story or Molly Knight, like everything. And I think Aaron maybe truly was in a bad headspace. And maybe the darkness retreat helped him out. Maybe getting traded helped him out. But maybe you'll see, and I think it'll be bittersweet for Packer fans. You might see the old Aaron Rodgers in New York, the one that was more sarcastic and snarky than arrogant and mean. And that's a fine line, but I think maybe Aaron Rodgers is a little lighter now in New York, happier because he's not in a situation where he doesn't feel wanted, and maybe he will be back to the Rodgers that all Packer fans do love. Do we have a ruling on what we're doing here, Alex Stroke? Okay, so we are going to, at 2:30 here, which is right now it's 2:31, Aaron Rodgers is scheduled to join Michael Kay from ESPN. What? Just say it out loud.
98.7 ESPN New York.
98.7 ESPN New York. Michael Kay, Aaron Rodgers. We're going to take you to that as soon as it happens. But as soon as that's ready, we will take you to that. 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. We are asking you, what is your preferred method of communication? As Aaron Rodgers said, he prefers FaceTime calls. And 77% of you say text. 5% of you say FaceTime because you're normal. And 19% of you say phone call. Matt, you are on text, right?
I'm on text. But if you want to FaceTime me, I'm not going to be upset.
And
because that's a cool thing to do, apparently. Take FaceTimes. It makes sense. My house is so glorious.
Oh, look at this. What did you say the Aaron Rodgers or Goody might have a droid?
Yeah.
FaceTime is what? An Apple product, correct? So, Goody, in your world, if he had, Aaron would know that Goody has a droid, so he would not be able to FaceTime.
That's the point.
That's brought in by a truth teller who has a lot of very angry things to say about Aaron Rodgers comparing him to an ex-president.
You could have Facebook Messenger, and then you'd have FaceTime.
But he didn't say Facebook Messenger. He said FaceTime.
I think Aaron Rodgers has a Facebook account.
Right, yeah, exactly. You think, Aaron Rodgers has a Facebook account? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's where he's getting his news. But, like, I would say that's not – he didn't say Facebook Messenger. He didn't say video call me. He said FaceTime.
He did.
So I'm not going to get into it, but it is. Thank you, Truth Teller, to chime in on that one because it is a fair point that Goody was probably texting him if they both have iPhones and he would have gotten those texts.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming Aaron assumes that Goody has an iPhone because he asked to be FaceTime.
Maybe. I'm very curious to see what kind of phone Goody has.
And as we are continuing, we are going to carry Aaron Rodgers on the Michael K. Show on 98.7 in New York. New York, that is our sister station. So we are going to hear Aaron Rodgers on ESPN Madison in a minute. He'll be interviewed by Michael K., but it'll be carried by ESPN New York. So we will be bringing you that as soon as we can. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Before we get out to Michael K. and Aaron Rodgers, our good friends at Revive Restoration and Josh Duggan, one, he's a great part of the community, but whether it's fire damage, smoke damage, water damage, you need mold remediation, I think they help with lead paint as well. Whatever it is for your business that maybe you don't necessarily have the ability to handle, Revive Pros is there for you. RevivePros.com is their website.
That's right. Josh Duggan, awesome guy, personal friend of mine. We like to get golfing, and we like to talk about how he's been able to manage to save not only businesses but households. They do asbestos cleanup. So if you buy an old house and you find that you've got a ceiling full of asbestos, don't try and take that on yourself. Call Revive Pros and Revive Restoration. Josh, he'll have your back. He'll make sure that you are back and running at 100% in no time at all. They make sure that they can get things right again. Check out Revive Pros and ReviveRestoration.com.
He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. We're going to get out to Aaron Rodgers on the Michael K. Show on 98.7 on ESPN New York. They are prepping that he'll be joining in a second, but he has not been officially introduced yet, so I won't kick it out there yet. But again, Aaron Rodgers will be on ESPN Madison in a second via our sister station, ESPN New York, the Michael K. Show on 98.7. What do you take of Aaron Rodgers now talking about how this time of year is the most important time for team building?
I mean, that's an obvious take. You know, we'd think it was an obvious take, but not based on the way he treated the off seasons with the Green Bay Packers the last couple seasons. So he's right. Now, would it have been nice to see him practice what he preaches for the last couple of years? Yeah. Last year, I think we could have been better had Rodgers spent some time with those rookies in this like voluntary practice time. So it's sad because I would have loved Rodgers to be showing up for voluntary practices for the Packers, but this is him doing a reset, starting fresh with a new team, doing everything that this new team wants him to do to be ready to play football.
This is Aaron Rodgers on the Michael K. Show at 98.7 ESPN New York. We're going live. Aaron Rodgers on 98.7 in New York, Hamilton, ESPN Madison. Does Aaron Rodgers seem happier in New York? 844-770-3776. You just said to reset it. We're pulling away from Aaron?
I said cue to call, yes.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, we're just pulling this on the air here. So why are we leaving Aaron Rodgers early?
We're not. That was the end of the
interview.
interview.
That was the end of the interview.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
so
the
that's
last
what I
question.
didn't know. Gotcha. Yeah. I didn't know that was for sure the last question there. So we will play Minute to Win It, 844-770-3776. That was Aaron Rodgers on Michael K. 98.7 in New York. This is Rutledge and Hamilton. Right now, you can enter to win a $50 gift card from our friends at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. We'll keep it simple. Caller number 8, 844, and caller number 4. Caller number 4 and 8, 844-770-3776. Caller 4 and 8 are going to be entered to play Minute to Win It with me and Matt Hamilton. You pick who you think is going to have the best score out of our Minute to Win a game. And if you're right, you get that $50 gift card from North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. 844-770-3776. Caller number 4 and caller number 8. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. 2024 Wisconsin quarterback commit Mabry Matoyer from Woodlands High School in Texas joined Prep Mania on ESPN Madison earlier this week and told Badgers fans what they're getting in the 4-star quarterback recruit.
I'm a dual-threat quarterback, and I bring the intensity to a game. So, I mean, when we need a first down, like, I'm the man to give the ball, just put the balls in my hands, and I'll make something happen.
Find the full conversation in the Prep Mania tab on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by April 30th and get 0% APR for 48 months. Visit PellaWI.com/radio.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
North and South Seafood and Smokehouse is the official barbecue and seafood and smokehouse of Rutledge and Hamilton. Make sure to listen every Wednesday for your chance to win a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Madison, Verona, and DeForest. North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors.
Time for me to fly. Oh, I got to set myself
moment of time for me to fly from Aaron Rodgers, a jet, flying the coop out of Green Bay. I like it, if it was on purpose or not, but it works. It's a good goodbye song for Aaron Rodgers. He's a jet. He's flying away.
You don't give me enough credit.
I said I didn't know. I didn't say you didn't for sure.
It's a fair point.
I just wasn't 100% sure on it. Do we have players for a minute to win it?
We do have players. Randy was caller 4. He chose Matt today.
All right. Well, I am
Jake,
motivated
caller
to
8.
win. Matt has got a glass up against the window here, so he is
glass?
Yeah, he's put a rocks glass up against the window.
I kind of respect that. I'm not going to call it cheating.
All righty. He could also just turn on the radio out there if you really
true.
wanted to cheat.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's play Minute to Win It, brought to you by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. 3 locations in the Madison area, DeForest, Verona, and Madison. Best barbecue place around, and do not sleep on their seafood as well. As Matt Hamilton will tell you, their smoked salmon is to die for. I said that last part, but it's really, really good. And you should definitely check it out, and you can get that food delivered to your house. You can go pick it up there. You can have it catered, or you can just have a great dining experience at any one of their 3 locations. Let's play Minute to Win It.
Are you on Team Rutledge or Team Hamilton?
I don't want to pick sides.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
All right, it is time to play Minute to Win It, as Jim said. Now, I was going to give you 2 minutes this week, but since we're running so late, we're going to go back to the normal minute.
Yeah, I don't even know what
I feel
part
like
of the clock we're on or anything.
Yeah, no, we're all screwed up because of Aaron Rodgers. So here we go. I am looking for the last 10 quarterbacks drafted in the first round of the NFL draft. As simple as that, with the NFL draft coming up tomorrow. I'm looking for the last 10 quarterbacks drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, and I will give you the number on every answer. Your time starts right now.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson is number 3.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is not on the list. That's strike 1.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is correct. He's number 6.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is number 5.
Let's see here. Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is number 4. You have 3 through 6.
That same draft would have been Trevor Lawrence.
That's correct. He was number 2.
All righty.
You've got that entire draft knocked out.
Yeah, so now I'm trying to. So obviously Daniel Jones is too far back then, I'm guessing. So now we're up to, so who are the young quarterbacks this last year? Jets, Giants, Dolphins, Seahawks. You said first rounders, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm blanking on the most recent draft here. The Browns, no.
Well, given
Eagles,
your context, there's only one.
What's that?
There's only one, given the context.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence being 2.
I said Justin Fields.
That's time.
All right.
That's a 5 spot.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it. Maybe our listeners are trying to figure out who last year was. It's tough.
But then I'm confused because the year before would have been, if that was Daniel Jones and Love and all that. And
wrong. Nope, not the same draft. Mac Jones.
I said him. I got that one.
But they were different drafts.
All right. Well, whatever.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
Hello, Matthew.
I tried to use my Central Standard glass to cheat.
We know.
We respect it. We respect it.
Did it work?
No.
I want you to be honest with me.
I did hear Jim say once, and that's when I was like, okay, this is working better than I thought it would. So I did pull it away because I don't want to cheat, but I was kind of like pretending for Jesse that I was cheating.
All right, Matt. Caller 4 Randy was on your team.
Let's go, Randy.
This might be a Matt week. I am looking for the last 10 quarterbacks drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, with the NFL draft kicking off tomorrow. Again,
my
the
goodness.
last 10 quarterbacks drafted in the first round. Your time starts now.
Oh, man. Last 10. Well, Brock Purdy.
Well, he was a 7th round pick, so that's strike 1.
Okay. First rounders. That's right. I thought it was the last 10 quarterbacks picked. Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson is correct. He is number 3 on this list.
I thought he was the second picked.
It doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. Don't worry about that.
Who was the first one picked this year? Oh, man, I'm drawing a blank. That's all right. Let's go. I mean, is Joe Burrow still on that list?
Joe Burrow is number 7 on that list.
All right. That means Josh Allen might be on that list.
Is that a final answer?
Sure.
That's strike 2.
Okay. Who is young? Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts was a 2nd round pick. That's strike 3. Your time is up.
I felt bad. I only got 5. So wait, can I just try this then? So is Jordan Love
Jordan Love is number 10, yes.
Justin Herbert.
Oh,
Justin Herbert's number 9.
So, because I screwed up
Herbert.
with Daniel Jones, I just got the draft order mixed up because then I was just eliminating that draft out of there. So that's where I got
Was
confused.
Daniel Jones a first-round pick?
Maybe that's why I got messed up.
Yes, he
I thought he
was.
was a first rounder.
Then he might have been 2019 because 2020, all the first-round
So wait,
quarterbacks fit in perfectly.
So yeah, because I got
Yeah,
Herbert.
Daniel Jones was 19 behind Kyler Murray.
Okay, so I was a year off for it. Okay,
Who-
so you're right
Who is the Zach Wilson?
because they
here?
picked up his 5th-year option
The
for
first
this year.
overall pick that
Yeah.
year?
Oh, I got that. Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor
Mac
Lawrence.
Jones, Justin Fields out of that draft as well.
All right, so Jim, after the
Was
fact, has
Justin
gotten most
Fields a
of them.
first rounder?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he was.
All right, here's your order. The only quarterback drafted in the first round last year was
That one I didn't know.
Kenny Pickett from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Small hand spigot.
Jim got the entire 2021 draft. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Then the 2024 quarterbacks drafted in the first round that year. Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, and Jordan Love.
Okay, so I would never have gotten a Kenny Pickett. Ever.
Congrats to Jake, this week's winner.
I am annoyed because I knew the quarterbacks. I just screwed up my years because I knew Daniel Jones was the first rounder, and I thought he was in the Love one. We are going to take a break, come back, and play a little. I think throwing stones. No,
Nope, that's you're a segment ahead, Jim.
I'm a segment ahead.
That's correct.
All righty, this is
We're
Rutledge
just
and
gonna
Hamilton.
babble.
You know what though? This is Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light.
See Acura of Brookfield, member of the Wisconsin Acura Dealers.
Hi, this is Dennis Summerall. Join us every week for Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on Good Karma Brands radio station. 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Yeah, it is. I'm Alex Strofe, your Sports Center update brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Bring the entire family for affordable fun with on-site camping, free parking, and free admission for kids 16 and younger. Well, Aaron Rodgers traded to the New York Jets earlier this week, had his introductory press conference and media tour, really, earlier today in New York/New Jersey. Rodgers talked about a slew of things at his introductory press conference, including his relationship with Jets offensive coordinator, former Packers offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett.
Hack and I became really close friends for 3 years in Green Bay, and I love him like a brother, and I believe in him, and I'm really happy to be back working with him again.
Continued coverage on all things Rodgers Watch continues here on ESPN Madison as well as online, ESPNWisconsin.com. Baseball, the Brewers lead the Tigers. 2 outs, top of the ninth, 6-2. So it looks like the Brewers will get a win today. Actually, they just did. Game just went final. And Bucks, do or die time tonight, Game 5 against Miami, 8:30 tip, which you can hear right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit metrokiaofmadison.com.
You got to chill.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
I will say, people that know me, I'm fortunate to live in a beautiful house. The only downside is I have very limited cell service. So if you want to get a hold of me, I have to see your face. You got to FaceTime me.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Madison studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Sure, Aaron.
How does that TikTok meme go now? Are you sure about that? Because my social media is full of people debunking the theory behind Aaron Rodgers. One, either Goody has an iPhone and can FaceTime him, which also means that Aaron Rodgers will be able to get text from Goody, which means Aaron Rodgers split hairs on that. Or, as is set up on my phone, I brought stuff on a TikTok Live. I have an iPhone. I have it set up in my settings that if my cell phone doesn't work, my cell data doesn't work, I will pick up the Wi-Fi network and I can make calls and communicate on the Wi-Fi network. I would imagine Aaron probably has the same setup. But regardless, this is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. At the Mountain Blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
For the most part, though, Aaron Rodgers did a good job crushing that press conference. And I want to ask this question, and we're going to throw it up as our second Iron Jock poll question. 844-770-3776. Does Aaron Rodgers seem happier in New York? It's not anything about like the city of Green Bay. I just think the last 3 to 4 years wore on Aaron Rodgers.
I think he's just excited to start a new story. No stigma around the situation. Like the Jets are going to open them up and be like blank slate. They're not going to carry over any of Green Bay's grievances that they've had over the off seasons, and Rodgers isn't going to be feeling those grievances and isn't going to try and fight it. I think he's just re-energized and ready to play football the way he wants to play football. And that's it probably does include these preseason practices and whatnot, but he's re-energized. He said so in the press conference. He said he's excited for this new team and this new chapter in his life.
844-770-3776. How does it make you feel, too, if you do think Aaron Rodgers is happier in New York? Because I do think this whole situation got to where it's at with a 50-50 blame. The Packers could have handled things better with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers could have handled things better. And it is unfortunate, if you're a Packers fan, that it got to this situation. Whether it was don't draft Jordan Love or Murphy or Goody or someone has the people skills to be able to get along with Aaron and figure out.
Or Aaron just being the bigger man.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But like somewhere, and then, yeah, Aaron could have stepped in as well. Like, so there's a lot of blame to go around, and I think we can easily just divide it 50-50. That's fine by me. And I think Aaron is happier, and I think the Packers have a cloud lifted over Lambeau Field. But at the same time, I think Aaron Rodgers is better off on the field and off the field out of this. I don't think the Packers are better off on the field, at least in the short term. 844-770-3776. Does Aaron Rodgers seem happier in New York? I'd say yes. He still does take a few random left turns, like with this FaceTime thing. And then also there was something during the Michael Kay interview, which we played back earlier with our sister station, 98.7 ESPN New York.
He said something around the lines of, this is why it's a great country. We still have some free speech.
As
I thought was interesting.
Speaks to the world on ESPN New York.
And I thought that was an interesting statement.
It's nothing funnier than me that people with giant platforms worry about free speech. Like Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show, he could be on ESPN.
Dude,
he was literally broadcast across the world 20 minutes before that.
Yeah, and just on YouTube, which I was watching for the press conference, there was over 30,000 people watching that thing, you know?
Yeah, but thank goodness for that Aaron can speak his mind.
Nah, look, I will say this. I'm happy for Aaron. I'm feeling a little torn though, Matt, because you said at the beginning of the show, like something around the Jets being your second team, which I think I agree with you. But also, we should be cheering for the Jets to lose, right? We were cheering for Aaron to play and the Jets to lose. So you get
a middling road. Like, we can't have the Jets go 0-17.
Right, because he's not going to play more than 11 games.
Right, because then they will bench him. So, like, as a Packer fan, the best case scenario is that we
4-13.
You might need to touch more, maybe 6. I think you're going to need at least 6-11.
That pick drops to like number 10 then.
I mean,
but you're right.
Yeah, I mean, so in a perfect world, we're never gonna get more than a 6th or 7th.
But can we be honest?
Right, a 6th or 7th overall pick.
Yeah,
but it could be as low as like 32nd.
It's gonna be low
unless it's another weird 31.
They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good.
Well, I guess the other part of it is here: if the Jets were really bad and it turned out to be a second round pick, it would be the 5th pick in the second round, as opposed to if they're really good and it's the 30th pick in the first round. We're not talking a major difference.
No,
there.
You're not. You're right about that. And of course, you could package those 2 picks and move up if you need to. But it's interesting. What's Matt pointing at?
Matt. Okay, what's the Brewers' record? The Brewers won 6-2.
The Brewers won 15 minutes ago.
Well, he's pointing it out now like it just happened.
Saw it.
So
it's called the replay.
It's on Brewers Live. Yeah.
They just showed a highlight and he acted like they just won. The Brewers did beat the Tigers. Did they win the series or not over the Detroit Tigers?
Yes.
No,
they did not.
Are they still in first place?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Who's in first place?
They got to be close, right?
The Pirates are in first place as of last night, so maybe they tied. But
they might be tied.
The Pirates were?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes. So, Mr. Baseball, Matt Hamilton there. But when I am
Mr. NBA.
Mr. NBA and Mr. Baseball, I thought. We will have Eric Name from The Athletic coming up in a little bit. But when I drive home, if the Brewers are on, I'll turn on WTMJ and listen to them. Sweet sounds coming through my speakers with my truck from Sinden Chevy. If you're in the market for a better buying experience, check out Sinden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from that better buying experience at Simmons Chevy in Mount Horeb. If you're in the market for a new to you Chevy, Silverado or Colorado or Tahoe, go check out Simmons Chevy in Mount Horeb. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, buy local. Shop Zimbrick Honda. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and warranties. Honda's certified technicians handle it all. And if you need new tires, buy 3 and get the 4th for just $1 when they mount and balance them for you. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. Help us celebrate 90 years in business by visiting us at 220 State Street. We've been a part of a lot of great moments, and we want to add to those special occasions. Our staff is here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. Come see firsthand why Goodman's Jewelers has withstood the test of time and why we're truly a destination worth reaching. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store of Madison, and a whole lot more. Goodman'sJewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Goodman's Jewelers has been providing sparkle to Madison since 1933. That's a lot of great memories. John Hayes for Goodman's Jewelers. We've been caring for generations of customers, and during that time, our strengths have been trust, service, and selection. Those traits are who we are, and that will never change. Goodman's Jewelers, a destination worth reaching. 220 State Street, Goodman'sJewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
It's time to get outdoors with help from Fleet Farm. Check out top brands in grass seed, fertilizer, and mulch. And get your yard ready with lawnmowers and string trimmers. Plus, don't miss out. Pick up Superior Weed and Feed for just $15.99. And don't forget your garden. Stop into the garden center today to pick up your favorite plants. Find everything you need for your backyard and patio at Fleet Farm during the Get Outdoors event. Going on now.
Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock here. Struggling to understand retirement planning, life insurance policies, or managing your wealth? Listen to my show every Saturday at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN, or call me right now at 208-1800 for a complimentary consultation.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Carbon World Health.
I should be dancing the pain away, the pain away. I'm gonna wear my favorite color tonight.
Daniel the Sloth chimes in 844-770-3776. The Jets, won 7 games without Rodgers last year and lost 6 games by less than a TD last year because of bad quarterback play. They will win 12 to 13 games this year.
I think he's right.
I agree.
I think he's right.
And it doesn't. Aaron Rodgers can, I think, he can be the exact same player he was with the Packers statistically. Maybe
probably still win what, 10, 11 games?
I think 12 or 13. The Jets had a
Wow.
top 5 defense last year and a top 5 special teams, and their offense was basically dead last in the league. So if he lifts the offense from dead last to middle, you got to turn your microphone on, Matt.
Even if he's 50-50 on those like 1-score wins,
yeah,
that puts the Jets to a 10-win team. That's at 50-50, and that's assuming one of the best ever to throw the ball in the fourth quarter it's
In the
just
regular
going to go
season.
in the regular season. It's just going to be 50-50. That seems crazy.
Well, again, all you have to do is lift your offense from basically bottom of the league to middle of the league, and you're going to have those 12, 13 wins if your
Right.
defense and special teams stay at the same level. And Robert Saleh, their head coach, was the former defensive coordinator at San Francisco, who knew a little bit about slowing down the Packers. So maybe he's a good coach, maybe he's not, but
Unnecessary.
Well, Aaron said he wanted to go to the Jets because he saw how good they are when they beat the Packers last year. And obviously San Francisco beat the Packers regularly too with Robert Saleh as defensive coordinator.
Mentioned that.
Yeah, he did mention that. So, that would be get mad at Aaron Rodgers for that.
I'm getting mad at you for making me relive that pain.
What about the pain of Aaron Rodgers acknowledging now that it's very important this time of year?
I really hope you just got by like a fake Twitter.
It's Aaron Nagler who put it out there, and he's a Packer guy, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Living in New York.
Okay, well, there you go.
And again, I this is him just being excited to play football again for a team where he's got a blank slate.
Well, that's the
He
question.
wasn't excited for Green Bay anymore. So come early to practices. He's like, no, that is so not shocking that he's here and excited to report early for the Jets.
Okay.
We knew he was going to do this, right?
Right, but Matt, and our Iron Jack poll question, our secondary one, does Aaron Rodgers seem happier in New York? Right now, 45% of you say yes, 55% of you say no. You're saying this, and maybe it's just where you're at. Maybe it's just a stage of denial here, and Alex will get your thoughts on it. But you're pointing out that basically there was a divorce, and they're getting newly married, and you're just like, yeah, of course I'm happy. They're super happy. Of course they're happy. They're not with me and my favorite team anymore. So of course everything's great. Most people would have a visceral reaction of God, that stings that they were here and they could have just made it good here. But instead they felt like they had to go somewhere else and didn't put the effort in here. And they're just so happy with their new wife and kids in Hawaii and living the best life. And you're just like, yeah, that seems fine to me.
Jim, I will point this out.
Yeah.
The second divorce is less painful than the first divorce.
Oh, there you go.
Does that make sense? Because
it doesn't make sense
We've
to
been
me.
through the same exact thing 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, same exact thing. Right?
So maybe that's it. And again, I haven't been through, whether it's personally or with my parents or as a sports fan, through these divorces. So maybe I would just handle it worse than Packer fans because you've been through this divorce before.
Yeah, I guess if he was going to the Niners, it would be
And it'd be one thing too if it seemed like everything was on the up and up and the Packers and Rodgers were gelling, and then all of a sudden Rodgers I want to be.
But this is mom and dad. So mom and dad are fighting now. Dad's with a new family, living his best life, and you're just like, that's good. I'll just stay here, Dad.
I mean, that's the situation we're in.
But that's just wild to me because
jump ship
yesterday,
for Aaron Rodgers.
No, but my point was yesterday you were equating your parents' love for you to their love for the Green Bay Packers, which means the Green Bay Packers is mom, Aaron Rodgers is dad. Dad's off in New York, living his best life, and just seems happier than he's ever been. And you're left here in Green Bay with mom, and you're just like, yeah, it's fine. I have no hard feelings towards dad. That's the part that is weird to me because you're so passionate about your favorite team, yet you are fully willing to blame mom, but not blame dad in this scenario.
Yeah, but I'm staying with mom.
But you're not. But you're being mean to mom. You're not.
That's fine. Mom needs to know she screwed up, and she's the reason dad's gone. This is for mom to learn. This is her second divorce. She needs to learn from her mistakes.
All sad.
The Adam and Madison chimes in. Mom should have put in the effort and not been a cheater.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point.
It is wild. So you're just but I thought it was 50-50.
Mom drafted Jordan Love and was brought him home back to the stadium and was like, hey son, Matt, you can call Mr. Love your daddy. And that is when Aaron Rodgers got upset. He's like, I'm dad.
But was Aaron putting in the effort before that?
Yeah. You can make that argument. He certainly was.
But
prior to the Jordan Love trade?
Are you forgiving dad in this scenario? Are you forgiving dad in this scenario that he immediately followed up without owning his feelings? He decided to be mercurial and bitter and sarcastic and cheat many times, whether it's with San Francisco or Denver, behind mom's back in this scenario. And dad was doing just as dirty. He did not handle it like a man, if you will. He just pouted and threw a fit.
But here's the thing. That was all in the past now. Right now, mom's happy because she's got the new Ferraris in the garage.
The younger.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the truck in the driveway anymore. The
old
Ferraris in the garage, and that's going to come out. And then the Jets got their classic. They got the classic vehicle.
But it's funny, Matt.
Everyone's happy.
Matt, so it's funny. Packer fans, the vibe I get is either like I'm happy for Aaron Rodgers, or like mainly it's either indifferent, which I
think
wonder.
most people are just happy he's gone, and it's like.
But that's so weird to me, and maybe because I lived through the Rodgers or the Favre thing, maybe fans loved Brett Favre more than loved Aaron Rodgers. I mean, and maybe it's because their heart was broken by Favre. They couldn't love as much as they did the first.
Favre was much more loved than Rodgers was at the end.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
So like that, this all tracks.
But so to this point, and maybe that's a question for tomorrow. Like I do think Favre, the football player, is more beloved in Packers lore than Aaron Rodgers will ever be, because they're statistically, who cares? They have the same amount of Super Bowl wins. Favre got to another one, but Favre lifted this team from the ashes and lifted them to places that, as your mom referenced yesterday, the how bad they were in the 80s. Fans of a certain age know how bad it was and saw Brett Favre basically be football Jesus here and resurrect the football program with the Green Bay Packers. And then Rodgers followed up, and Rodgers was great, but Favre at least presented himself as a good old boy, Wisconsinite, the whole thing. So I guess maybe that's what I'm getting at, is I am blown away. And maybe it's because your heart was broken and now you're just a little more callous, but there's like some who are like, okay, good for him. There's not this undying love for Rodgers going forward outside of like Matt. At best, people are like, hey, good luck for him going forward, whatever, or just completely indifferent. There's not even anger. There's not anger or love. It's just indifference from almost everyone that we hear on this topic, which is crazy to me because Packer fans are so passionate, which to me just indicates that there was no real connection compared to the connection that Packer fans had with Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers.
There was a connection, and that connection was slowly severed. I would say from 2017 on is when Rodgers started digging himself a hole with Packer fans.
But you act like Brett Favre didn't also have this will I, won't I, multiple, am I going to retire or not? He was digging a hole.
Nearly to the same scale that
I think he was
Rodgers does, because Rodgers has more access to media.
I think he was just loved more. I think Brett Favre was beloved and loved more as a Packer football player than Aaron Rodgers.
I think they were about as loved as you could be for a football player of your football team, and then slowly Rodgers.
You can't speak. You are in love with Aaron Rodgers, and so and Rodgers is your QB. You've been pretty open, and you had a good personal experience with Aaron Rodgers and a negative one with Brett Favre.
Yeah,
I think on the whole, and Adam Madison chimes in with a great one here. Favre was daddy, Rodgers stepdad, and so Favre was the one that created this version of the Green Bay Packers.
Doesn't Favre give you more like stepdad vibes than?
Yes, Favre the person is horrendous and awful, but the football player, Brett Favre, built this iteration of the Green Bay Packers legacy, and Aaron Rodgers continued it, but this was Brett Favre's house. He built Lambeau Field. He built everything going on there. He owned the Bears when the Bears were actually a good football team, and he still was dominating, and he won a Super Bowl and got to another one and won the first one in forever. And I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be loved, but I think for a large majority of fans, the love for Favre, it is too hard to pull now because Favre's got so much baggage. He's like an airplane that you can't handle it anymore.
Hey-o.
You like that?
I did. Yeah,
thank you. Something like Eric Name would write. And let's hear from Eric Name next. He's from The Athletic. We'll talk to him. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Gold medalist Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Wisconsin's best choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors, Ridgetop Exteriors. I know they're the trusted local experts who consider customer service their number one goal, but don't just take my word for it. Jake and Dawn are both recent customers who left 5-star reviews for the outstanding service and quality of work on their projects. Get a free estimate for your home project today by logging on to ridgetopexteriors.com. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
This one's for the hop heads. Low in bitterness with a huge hop and flavor, the City Lights Hazy IPA has won its fair share of awards. It bested 346 other entries in the most prestigious category in craft beer's most prestigious contest. As if that's not enough, City Lights Hazy IPA also won gold at the Denver International Beer Competition in 2022, and it was the highest rated IPA in the world for 2 years straight. City Lights Brewing Company, brewing beers which make thirst worthwhile.
Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win a case of City Lights Hazy IPA. This gold medal decorated beer is hoppy and right for any IPA lover. Gold medal, Rutledge and Hamilton. What could go better? Listen every Thursday at 2:45 for your chance to win some free beer. This month, it is City Lights Hazy IPA on Rutledge and Hamilton, 2:45 every Thursday.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
I am the fittest, healthiest, and lightest I've been in years, thanks to the team at Carbon World Health. Jim Rutledge here, and I've been working with Dr. Nestor Rodriguez and his training staff for years now, and I've seen my fitness and strength increase steadily. Now I'm seeing weight loss like I've never expected, thanks to semaglutide. I'm dropping fat, not muscle, with this game-changing, FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Go to carbonworldhealth.com today to learn more.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here. And whether I'm in the gym curling dumbbells or out on the ice curling stones, Iron Jock is my go-to apparel to stay stink-free. Their state-of-the-art silver ion technology is guaranteed to keep you feeling fresh and provide odor-fighting protection for as long as you own it. As a Wisconsin-based company, Iron Jock provides high-quality performance apparel that's designed from the inside out. Visit ironjock.com to get your Iron Jock apparel and use code ESPN25 for 25% off. Iron Jock. It's what's inside that matters.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Medicine.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it!
Locked in on the Bucks.
No, never in a million years.
Bringing the insight and the analysis.
I do hate charge calls.
2022 Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Eric Name of The Athletic, is on Rutledge and Hamilton.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. We are joined by Eric Name from The Athletic. Matt Hamilton waving his hand very excitedly to see Eric Name. Eric, I'm dressed for the occasion today. I got my Bucks jersey on. It's a Ray Allen one. Mr. NBA Matt Hamilton only cares about his BFF Aaron Rodgers and what he's going to be doing going forward. Now, Eric, I'm just going to ask this question as simply as I can. The hell is going on with the Bucks in this Heat series? Because this is really disconcerting.
The best player in the series has played 5 quarters. I think that's probably the biggest thing. I think when you watch kind of what's happened, that has been a massive part of it. And in his absence, the player that's been the best player in this series, Jimmy Butler, has been absolutely unstoppable. The Bucks do not have anything for him at the moment. And, you know, over the years, we've seen the Bucks and the Heat play each other. In 2020, we saw the Heat eliminate the Bucks from the bubble. In the middle of that series, I asked Giannis if he had asked Mike Budenholzer to cover Jimmy Butler. It was a very awkward question over Zoom. Not in person, not one that I think Giannis enjoyed hearing or I enjoyed asking all that much. But the answer was no. Why would I do that? Because Giannis was a help defender. And 1 year later, when they got the Heat in the first round, Giannis was covering Jimmy Butler, and he covered Jimmy Butler the whole series. And the Bucks dominated that series, and they won in 4 games. And At the start of this series, Giannis was not covering Jimmy Butler. And yes, he did only play 11 minutes in game one, but the Bucks had still decided that Drew Holiday was the guy for Jimmy Butler, and that just hasn't been the case. And when I say all that, I do want everyone to understand listening. We just did an anonymous players poll at The Athletic, 108 NBA players, and asked who the best defender in the NBA is. Over 25%, an overwhelming first place total, said Drew Holiday. That is the best defender on the planet. And thus far in the series, he doesn't have anything for Jimmy Butler. Nothing. Whatever he's trying to do against Jimmy Butler, it's not working. And Jimmy Butler just put up 56. And that is, I mean, I have seen Giannis score 50 in a closeout game. I have seen Kevin Durant go for 50 in a playoff game. That's the most unbelievable performance I've ever seen.
It looked like NBA Jam. Like I thought the ball was gonna catch fire as he was shooting it.
He simply didn't miss. And if you look through all of his points, not a lot of easy shots there.
No.
I mean, the free throws were easy, of course, because they're free throws. But outside of free throws, no, those things were contested. And it's, he gave buckets to everybody in that first quarter. That first quarter, he scores on Drew Holiday 3 times. I think he scores on Giannis 3 times. And then pick whoever you want from the rest of the Bucks roster. He gave every single one of those people a bucket. And then when you're looking at those 21 points to close out the game in the fourth quarter, it's the exact same thing. 22 in the first quarter, 21 in the fourth quarter. And I mean, just an absolutely unbelievable performance. And that's why you have the Bucks down 3-1 at this point. And when I think you add together the fact that Giannis only played 5 quarters and Jimmy Butler has been absolutely amazing, that's how you get the number 1 seed, the best team in the NBA, currently down 3-1 to the 8th seed and on the brink of elimination as they get ready for tip-off tonight at 8:30 in Fiserv Forum.
Do you think anybody is like really, especially on the Bucks, I'm sure the Heat are, but do you think they're thinking much into this idea that they could be the first team in the history of the play-in game to have lost as a 1 seed to a play-in team? Is that like something going through their mind?
No, I don't
know. I would hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone is thinking about that. I just think these teams know each other so well that all they're thinking about is how do they, if you're the Bucks, make it uncomfortable on the Heat. And I think if you're the Heat, that the last time you played the Bucks in the playoffs, they rattled off 4 straight. And yes, it was a sweep, and yes, they dominated that series. But if you're trying to figure out, hey, can they win 3 straight games? Yeah, they can. They have what most people consider to be the best player in the planet in Giannis Antetokounmpo. And as long as you have that guy, you're not out of any series, and you can win 3 straight games at any time. So that focus is purely on this series and what's going on in it and how they either win it or how they close it out. I don't think anyone is even thinking of the Miami Heat as a play-in team at this point because they've just been so good in this series.
Talking with Eric Name from The Athletic. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. How much is Middleton's, I guess, just spotty health throughout the year? Maybe it's the endurance. I don't know how physical health he is now, but in theory, he should be able to, hopefully, carry the Bucks to one more victory when Giannis was out. But he is not the Chris Middleton that we know. I mean, whether it's because of the conditioning or actually still being injured, how much is that affecting him?
Yeah, I mean, I think all year long, Chris has kind of said, I'm healthy, I'm ready to go. When the team needs more minutes, I'll be able to deliver those. And, I think through 2 games, that was true. I think in the 3rd and 4th game, he hasn't been quite as sharp. I would also think that the fact that there was such a long break between the end of the regular season when he was playing in game 1 and then a 3-day break between games 1 and 2 and then a 3-day break between 2 and 3 helped him out. And now we're in a spot where it's every other day. And I think it's a little bit more difficult. And I just think with Chris, he is not who he has been in the past. There was a lot of freak out about, the Bucks giving up that 13-0 run where the Heat take the lead in the 4th quarter, from 6 minutes to 3 minutes. and I think it's warranted, right? But at the same time, the Bucks took that time out. They came out of it. Giannis got an and one. They took the lead. The Heat answered with a three of their own, took the lead. Drew Holiday answered with a three, took the lead. The Bucks got a stop, and they were up two, and Chris Middleton had a chance at a pull-up jumper, a shot that he's hit. I've literally seen him hit hundreds of times in games as I've covered him over all these years, and he missed it. And it was probably long by about 1/4 of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch. And it's just that little bit of Chris that isn't quite right. It's a shot that he hit regularly during the championship run. And I think that's, to me, kind of, as you watch that game 4, it's everything just being a little bit off this season, a little not quite as sharp as it was in years past. And I think you can chalk that up to these guys not getting to play together a lot. You can chalk that up to injuries. To me, it's just that little bit of not being quite sharp enough. And obviously, you know, Giannis has some of that with the back issue right now, and Drew Holiday just hasn't been who he needs to be in this series either. And I just think it's all of that was building up during the season. And that's not to say it's over. They can still win 3 games, but if they're going to, all 3 of those guys got to bring their level up.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, 100%, where do you think Giannis and his back are at right now?
I mean, I think very early in that game, you saw him clutch at his back, right? Like, I think it's that Statue of Liberty finish he has near the end of the first quarter with a couple minutes left in it. And in that moment, you saw him immediately clutch at his back. And that isn't, you know, that was non-contact. That was, you know, I'm not going to say a normal move because nothing Giannis does is normal because he's so kind of incredible. But I mean, that's just a finger roll with a twisting of the arm with a Euro step before it. And that made him grip at his back. And I think, you know, it's tough for me to say what percentage this dude is because I don't think he was 100% during the NBA Finals. And, you know, he puts up 50 in a closeout game. So I think all those numbers have to be just general. But I mean, let's say 75%. Maybe it's better than that. But I just think you can tell he's not totally himself. And I think you have the back injury, but then I think what we saw late in that game was that's one of the more dominant playmaking games I've ever seen Giannis have. He was spectacular in the fourth quarter. They went to that pick and roll with him and Brook Lopez over and over and over again. He throws that gorgeous no-look pass to Brook Lopez, gets his triple-double, his 3rd career playoff triple-double, and then he throws his 11th assist of the game. And on the way back, you can see, I don't know which leg it was that ended up cramping up, but you started to see some of the cramps. And this is the same thing we saw in the NBA Finals in Game 2 in Phoenix, where after the game he needs an IV. And it's just like, as an athlete, the buildup of all this stuff, right? Like,
right.
Sure, you can get yourself on the floor. You can fight through this injury, but I think one thing that over the years people have learned about peak athletes rehabbing is that it isn't ice, man. Like this dude isn't sitting there icing his back. Right. This dude is working out constantly, always getting like the Theragun and always, you know, putting some stim on, whatever it might be. He's doing all this stuff. It is a 24-hour process for him to get ready. And all of that takes energy from you. All of that takes water from you. All of that takes all of the things that you need to be a peak athlete. It takes that from you. And in the end, you get an athlete cramping because all of that buildup took the energy out of him. And he had just exhausted himself to such an extent that he has the cramps there at the end of the game, needs the IV after the game, as our guy Sham Shrani reported at The Athletic. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's kind of the reality of the situation is whether or not his back is 100% or whatever it might be, the work that he's doing to get himself there means that he's not going to get to compete at the level that you need him to, or at least if he is going to be able to, he's not going to be able to do that without his body paying serious repercussions.
Right.
And kind of with that, Eric, and like Middleton's talked about this before, as far as the offseason, if you're injured, you're spending your offseason rehabbing instead of working on your game or trying to get better on those things. And I don't know what this next offseason will be for Middleton. And I'm not projecting or saying anything should happen or trying to put the cart in front of the horse, but I think if the Bucks made a run to the Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals, you're running it back no matter what. And I'm not expecting anything drastic, but if they happen to lose to Miami and Miami feels like a team that has their number, is there a chance that they at least take a longer look? And I don't know what it would be, but at any of the options they have this offseason, just because the window for Giannis is open, but you're always trying, and Giannis doesn't seem like a guy who's going to try to get out, but you're always trying to maximize winning when you have a superstar, and this would be a frustrating loss in this round.
Yeah, I mean, I put it in my story today at The Athletic. Like, the reality of the situation is that Chris Middleton, if he wants to, can opt out this summer. So that means he could just opt out and choose somewhere else. Chris Middleton could opt out and re-sign with the Bucks for multiple years. Chris Middleton could also opt in. If people around the league have watched this series and thought Chris Middleton is not worth another max contract or anything close to a max, and let's say Chris Middleton's only worth $30 million a year, Chris Middleton can opt into a $40.4 million player option as well. So there's options out there for Chris. Ultimately, I think kind of no matter how this series ends, I think there will be teams that think, oh my gosh, we could really use a grown-up, and we believe in Chris Middleton. And I mean, just
they probably have to pay more than 40 to get him, is what you're kind of getting at?
Probably. Or they just might be willing to commit for a longer period of time. I think, he's going to be 32 this summer. You commit to 4 years, that's 36. You do a full 5-year max, that's 37. You're thinking about the next couple of years. And let's say the Memphis Grizzlies, right? They clearly need a grown-up. Mm-hmm. They could have money and say, Chris Middleton's going to help us grow up. Great. You can go to the Detroit Pistons. They could use a grown-up. All right, let's pay Chris Middleton all this money. Is it worth it to the Bucks? Maybe not, but is it worth it to us? Yeah, sure. The Dallas Mavericks. You can just keep going up and down the list, top of the league, bottom of the league, however you want to say. There's going to be that kind of demand out there, and I think that puts the Bucks in a position where they're going to have to make a decision. I think ultimately you don't want to let go of a guy in that salary position, because the rules have become more prohibitive to allow you to sign players of that caliber when you've already spent as much money as you have on Giannis Antetokounmpo and Drew Holiday. So I think the Chris Middleton decision gets very interesting if they lose tonight, or if they just lose to the Heat period in the first round. I think Brook Lopez is another interesting situation. He is a full-on free agent at the end of the season. We've seen him put together Defensive Player of the Year type season. We've seen him totally change his game. He can shoot threes and spread the floor. If you need an inside presence, he can go in the lane. Again, I think there's going to be a lot of demand for someone like that. And that means the Bucks are going to have to pay more. So ultimately, the Bucks can bring everyone back, right? If they want to, they can bring everybody back. But that's going to require paying a massive luxury tax bill. And this will be their first year in the repeater. And in the repeater, those rules only get more prohibitive, only cost even more money. And Jimmy Haslam definitely has deeper pockets than Mark Lazary. But at the same time, if you're paying for a team that got knocked out in the first round by the 8th seed, man, that's a bit tougher proposition, I think, than, paying for a team to run it all back when you won 2 championships in 3 seasons. I think it's all a little bit different there.
And that's why I'm glad you pointed that out, and we're out of time. But yes, it's a lot easier to write that check if the Bucks get to the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals than it is to justify a check that a team gets bounced twice by the Heat too early in the playoffs in a short window. So a lot riding. Eric, I hope we're talking about games the next time we talk to you.
I think that would be fun. I would have a great time if we did.
Me too, Eric. Good luck tonight to the Bucks, and we'll be following along with you. That's Eric Name from The Athletic. This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Miss any of the show? Find full show podcasts free on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. 2024 Wisconsin quarterback commit Mabry Matoyer from Woodlands High School in Texas joined Prep Mania on ESPN Madison earlier this week and told Badgers fans what they're getting in the 4-star quarterback recruit.
I'm a dual-threat quarterback, and I bring the intensity to a game. So, I mean, when we need a first down, like, I'm the man to give the ball, just put the balls in my hands, and I'll make something happen.
Find the full conversation in the Prep Mania tab on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by April 30th and get 0% APR for 48 months. Visit PellaWI.com/radio.
Jim Rutledge here to tell you about X Golf Madison, and the most important thing that you need to know is that X Golf Madison is for everyone. I golf there. Whether you're a seasoned pro, a new golfer, or in between like me, X Golf Madison is going to be fun for you. They have a full bar, excellent service, great food, and the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world. You can play one of their 50 courses available, take lessons from a PGA pro, hit the driving range, or even join a league. Stop by their East Madison or Middleton location today, or visit them online at xgolfwisconsin.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
2023 is a very special year for Goodman's Jewelers. We're celebrating 90 years of